I just bought a new automobile the same way they did in the 1900s when movies were silent.
Wow. Well, I just got this Jeep from FlexCar.
All my smackaroos go to paying off the hefty value this little gas buggy lost the second I chugged out of the dealership. Toot toot.
Okay, well, FlexCar includes maintenance and insurance, and I can switch to an F-150 or Mercedes anytime.
What are you, high on giggle juice? Buying a car is supposed to be the bum deal you pretend is the bison's berries.
I have no idea what you're saying. The first and only month-to-month car lease. FlexCar, you drive everything.
And we're live. Yo, yo. Let's go. A special edition of the Keith McPherson Show. MLB trade deadline. Less than an hour left. I'm not excited about this. I'm dreading this. Sucks, honestly. You guys know what we're about to talk about. I'm watching MLB right now, MLB Network right now. Tom Verducci. Rest of these guys on the set. Let's get right into it. I see people on Instagram. I'm going to send you the YouTube link. Go to YouTube and watch. It is better for you to watch this pain on YouTube, but I see people on Instagram. I just feel like we're about to take L's, bro. And the stuff that I say every year, all year, about like the Yankee tax. There are 29 teams in the New York Yankees. Nobody's trying to help Brian Cashman. I think that's where we are again. So on Instagram, watch on YouTube. I just sent the link in the chat there. And yeah, episode 5, Keith McPherson Show, MLB trade deadline. Let's get right into it. I see people in the chat. I see people quickly coming in on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. I feel like I'm gonna be upset. I don't know. I just put out a tweet where I said, like, I'm waiting on the Yankees, and I care too much about the Yankees. I care too much about baseball. Like, I can't grow out of it. I can't shake it. I'm sweating all day. I've been waiting for a catcher. I've been waiting for an arm, for the bullpen. I've been waiting for something. We just saw Heliot Ramos, that the Yankees are working on a trade for Heliot Ramos, which, like, to me, these are not good things. We'll get into it. Let me just go ahead and hit the intro so that we could do this show. Here it is. Yo, already on go. Keith McPherson Show, episode 5. I got 5 on it. That your po ass can keep. Chat is going crazy already. I see people in the chat. I want to give you guys love out there, but I want to just get a couple things off my chest. Maybe you heard my show last night on WFAN. I started with Tarek Skubal. Tarek Skubal will be on the mound tonight. Tarek Skubal just met the media. He is in Dodgers gear, and it smells. It smells to me. It stinks. It stinks of like he put this whole act on of wanting to stay in Detroit. He put this whole act on of how sad he was to go and how he didn't want to go anywhere. But, hey, it's a business of baseball. He knew he was going to go out to the Dodgers. And for those conspiracy theorists that were saying the Tigers did this as we're going into the lockout to just add another log to the fire for the fans to say, hey, this isn't fair. We need to lock out. We need a salary cap. I mean, think what you want. But when I saw Skubal today, and I know it's been a couple days, I know this hit Saturday, and I had that thought too. They made the move Saturday. They didn't wait until the deadline because of the last day that he pitched. I said this on air last night. If you were trying to make a play for Tarek Skubal this year, as soon as he came off the mound, you should have been on the phone. Hey, here's our best offer. Hey, what else can we do? I don't think the Rays were doing that. I don't think the Brewers were doing that. The Yankees damn sure weren't doing that. The Dodgers never got off the phone. And this deadline will end tonight, and Tarek Skubal will be on the mound with the Dodgers. And he looks happy to me. Looks like the Detroit Tigers are a thing of the past. So he looks happy to me. Obviously, on the Yankee side, the Yankees trade for Luis Garcia Jr. And I'll say this. I'm not mad about the move. Arguably, they got the best hitter that was moved. Arguably, they've got the best hitter, in this market right now as we are talking MLB. And most of the show is going to be MLB talk. But it's redundant. And as we're getting updates on Giancarlo Stanton out there in Yankee Stadium, Giancarlo Stanton has been spotted in Yankee Stadium taking some BP. Here, let me pop this stuff up. As a matter of fact, I can share a screen with you guys and just do that. Share a screen. Shout out to Disha. Disha is at Yankee Stadium. She put this up first. And I jokingly said, unsubscribe me from all Giancarlo Stanton updates. But here is Giancarlo Stanton taking BP against Carlos Rodon. And every Yankee fan is going to say what they think Brian Cashman is going to say, and that is, oh, well, getting Giancarlo Stanton back and Carlos Rodon back and Aaron Judge back and Clark Schmidt back are like getting 2 pitchers and 2 bats at the deadline. No, it's not like that at all. Hopefully Stanton survives this BP today at the stadium. Shout out to you if you're on your way to Yankee Stadium for the game tonight. I obviously will not be up there. It's trade deadline day. And I'm waiting for stuff to come through. So we will keep an eye on that. We will keep an eye on alerts. If you guys in the chat see something before me, let me know. Let me know. But yeah, back to Luis Garcia Jr. It's a redundant move like Stanton, right? When they got Stanton, Stanton was a muscle-bound, power-hitting right fielder that you already had. You already had Judge, who should have won MVP that year, but I got it. That was like one of the last times that the Yankees had an evil empire-type move. That was one of the last times that you felt like the Yankees were doing something where the rest of the league was like, yo, this is not fair. How do they keep doing this? That's the Dodgers now. And another thing, going back to the Dodgers, I said it last night on air, like, this isn't the first time we've seen the Dodgers go for it. They go for it every offseason. They go for it every deadline. They went for it in the offseason getting Kyle Tucker. They went for it in the offseason getting Edwin Diaz. You knew they were going to get Tarek Skubal. And that deal, the prospects that they sent, anybody could have beat that deal, but nobody stayed on the phone. Nobody was as engaged. Nobody is as committed to winning as the Dodgers are, so be it. So be it, man. Yeah, we'll go through a few of these right now. But I wanted to get my last thoughts in on Luis Garcia, and then we'll roll through all of the trades. I have the whole trade tracker up. Getting Luis Garcia, who's under control, is a good move, but it's redundant, and I get it, right? You will go Paul Goldschmidt against left-handed hitters at first base. You will go, or left-handed pitchers. You will go Luis Garcia Jr. against right-handed pitchers at first base. And then Ben Rice, who's still a little shaky at first base, can be your DH. But then what does that tell you about Stanton? As I'm seeing, Joel Sherman reports the Yankees are moving toward a deal for Giants outfielder Heliot Ramos, first mentioned, but is pending medical review. Ramos can hit, and that just left the page. Listen, the Yankees love to have these pending medical reviews. Adley Rutschman was traded today from the Baltimore Orioles in division to the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees need a catcher just as bad, if not more, than the Boston Red Sox. I was on air last night saying I don't think the Orioles would do that. The Orioles think about the Yankees all day, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. They're not going to try and send their number one pick over to us and let him have a resurgence. But they did that with the Red Sox, and that's going to sting a little bit if the Red Sox end up catching us here. If later this month when the Red Sox come to Yankee Stadium, if Adley Rutschman plays a big part in them beating us, you're going to think about the medical records, right? He was hurt. Supposedly he's got a bum wrist, and reports were saying that, the Yankees, kind of fell off of it once they checked the medicals or whatever. I just think that they're in love with their own prospects. They die hard on their own prospects and their own people. I think Austin Wells is a guy that they really do love and like, and they hope that he turns it around. And when you look at the success of this pitching staff, this rotation, and these guys out of the bullpen, they do attribute some of that success to Austin Wells calling most of the games. So let's do this. Let's hit the chat. And then we will look at the tracker. I'm hoping some stuff comes through. I guess, the Yankees are going to add Luis Garcia Jr. at first base and Heliot Ramos in the outfield. They subtracted Camilo Duvall. They subtracted Giovanni Cruz. They subtracted Jake Bird from the bullpen. Are they really about to not add another bullpen arm? We got less than 40 minutes here, close to 40 minutes here. I'm panicking. I just think that this team already wasn't good enough, and they needed the deadline, right? This is the run it back Yankees. They decided to run it back 2025, 2026. With injuries, what can happen will. And with the deadline, this is your last opportunity to improve the team, to fill the holes that you have, to go and chase down this division and take this American League before we lock out and before baseball changes forever. This is your opportunity, assuming that the Dodgers get there from the National League. This is your opportunity to win the AL pennant and then go defend your own history and stop the Dodgers potentially from three-peating. Anything can happen. It's not a foregone conclusion. It's not a fait accompli. It's not any of that as far as like the Dodgers just winning this third championship. But all reports out of the Dodgers camp is these guys are hell-bent on winning the World Series. That's all they talk about from the top to bottom. That's all they talk about from the owners to the last guy on the 40-man. They are hell-bent on winning and being a champion. And I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. That's it. I don't know what to tell you. I love baseball. I love the Yankees, but I don't trust them. And I don't think that they're going to do what you guys are hoping they would do. Like Luis Arias goes to the Phillies. I know that guy was on the board for you guys. Luke Weaver, some of you guys were dreaming of Dream Weaver coming back. He just went to the Pirates. All of these catchers, Ryan Jeffers wasn't moved. Hunter Goodman wasn't moved. But, I mean, we're still waiting maybe for Tyler Stevenson from the Reds to get moved. I just saw Joey Bart from the Braves went to the White Sox. Ben Rortvedt, a former Yankee catcher, went to the Dodgers. What other catchers were moved? Adley Rutschman, who I already spoke of, going from the Orioles to the Red Sox. And, we'll go through the tracker once we check the chat. So what's up, Pam? Pam is always first on that Noti Squad. Pam, appreciate you. The Sports Coverage Podcast. Keith, I'm getting scared. Yeah, be afraid. Be very afraid. Dad Can Build It says, you're... VMar says, Keith, break it down for us. I am. What I always say with the Yankees is, you see these deals, those deals are not available to the Yankees. Nobody's trying to help the Yankees out. Nobody's trying to help our eternal GM out either. Brian Cashman has been the guy for a long time. And he has his relationships. He's got relationships with the Nationals. He traded for Ahmed Rosario last year. He was able to go and get Luis Garcia Jr., but I think it's tougher than we think. We play these games in our mind about we want this hitter, we want this catcher, we want this arm, and then we shoot pie in the sky for Tarek Schoolbull and Mason Miller, and when it doesn't come to fruition, it's like you got to think about it. It's tough for Cashman, but I'm not making any excuses for Cashman because that's his job. Go out and improve the team. You didn't want to improve the teams with new faces and new people in the offseason. You wanted to bring back Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham's been terrible lately. You paid Cody Bellinger a lot of money. He has not been as good as we thought he would be, and now he's hurt. Ray in the chat. What up, Ray? Kevin says, that boy Cash slump, man. Yeah, how many times we got to see the stick meme where they're poking Cash, they're poking the Yankees? Do something. Get up. Dad Can Build It says, just get me Steer and Stevenson. I wanted Ohapi. Ohapi's another catcher that got traded to the Rangers. RJ Davis says, bro, I've been giving you props everywhere. Keep up the good work. I have been shouting you out to everyone. Keep up the great work. Appreciate it, man. I know there's a lot of you guys paying attention out there. You're seeing me in different places and doing different things. I appreciate the support. Stay tuned. There's a lot that I work on. There's a lot that I do and I talk about behind the scenes, and then it materializes. And that's just what I've learned in the business. You kind of don't tell people your dreams and everything that you're working on. You don't count your eggs before they hatch, but when they hatch, it's out there. Anthony says, brother, this deadline is one of the most dreadful of my life. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. They added a bat. They added a bat at a place where they have multiple guys that can play first base. And like Yankee fans are scrambling saying, oh, he can play second base. No, he's not. He's not going to play second base. And I really feel like this isn't the Yankees saying we think we're good enough. I think this is the Yankees doing what they always do. Cashman refuses to get fleeced. He will not lose a trade. This is the Yankees prospect hugging. And as things change, the more things stay the same. Scooble having a subpar season coming off an injury, not worth it. I bet you it's worth it for the Dodgers because the Dodgers are out there with Roki Sasaki and Yamamoto and potentially Blake Snell and Tyler Glass now. It's worth it for them. Finnegan says, getting that Jose Trevino or Higgy to the Yankees tweet is going to blow. Nah. So Cashman's not going to do that, right? He's not going to trade for Luke Weaver. He's not going to give up something for someone that he gave away. I just don't think he's going to double back to get a Trevino, who was a platinum glove all-star with us. Kyle Higashioka, who was in the organization for 13 years. Luis Torrens is not available, but I don't think he was even trying to get Luis Torrens. It's tough. Anthony says, we used to beg for left-handed bats. Now we're starting 7 of them tonight, and only 2 are hitting over 250. Yeah, that's pretty funny, right? All we had was Brett Gardner in the lineup. All we had was Didi in the lineup. All we had was Mike Ford in the lineup. All we had was Rougned Odor in the lineup. Speaking of the Yankees, I'll go to my notes, and I know we're about to get closer to the flurry of moves coming in that last half hour. I said this in my little video last night before I went on air. All is not lost. This is the Yankees B team, and they just went on the road, and they took 2 from the Phillies in Citizens Bank Park. They should have swept the White Sox at Comiskey U.S. Cellular low-rate, guaranteed low-rate field. So dumb, the names with the ballpark in the South Side. But they should have swept the White Sox, but still split with them. And then they took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, scoring 2 runs in the 2 deciding games. In the games that they won, 2 runs was all that they needed to win. This pitching staff is good enough. The rotation is good enough. The bullpen is good enough. And as much as I was tight with Aaron Boone for not just calling out Ali Sanchez with that dumbass throw that he made and that mistake that he made with the game on the line, we do have to give Aaron Boone credit for navigating the starters, the bullpen, and kind of knowing how to push the right buttons. And finding ways to win when these guys make a ton of mistakes. Getting caught in rundowns, oversliding the bag, not fielding the ball properly, not knowing where to throw the ball, stupid challenges at the plate. Like the Yankees, when you watch the Yankees, they do a lot of dumb stuff. Oh, would you look at this? I just was talking about him last night. Giants are close to acquiring Marcelo Mayer from the Red Sox. I was talking about how the Red Sox are good with Caleb Durbin and Cedane Rafaela and Wilson Contreras and Masataka Yoshida. Their big 3 that they celebrated last year of Marcelo Mayer, Roman Anthony, and Christian Campbell, they're doing this year without them, and they're also doing this year without Alex Cora. I hate to say it because I'm praying on their downfall, but it might be one of those special years for the Red Sox again. It sucks, but it might be one of those magic carpet rides for them. Scott says, what's up, all? Been a disappointing day. We got time. And I know I probably sound stupid for even saying that, but we got time. Historically, Cashman does the buzzer beaters. Historically, Cashman does the last minute flurry of moves that get finalized right now. I don't know though. I don't have a good feeling about it. Waiting just like you guys are, because this team needs another catcher. It can't be Ali Sanchez. It can't be JC Escara, and it damn sure can't be Austin Wells. But it is. It is what it is. We have who we have, and we don't have who we don't have. You know, I don't trust that Stanton is coming back and going to be able to help. I don't trust that Judge is going to heal up. Luis Garcia plus no catcher equals Rice back behind the plate. You guys got to stop that. Jazz is the second baseman, and Rice is not going to catch. The Yankees for years have moved people around. The Yankees for years have played guys out of position. They're not about to do that right now. They don't want Ben Rice behind the dish. They would have done it already. You know? They would have done it already. KP says, I told you I had no confidence in Cash. You're not the only one, but in Cash we trust. We got nobody else to trust but the Cash God, right? Our eternal GM. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. But like let's try to be positive about things. Luis Garcia is in the lineup tonight. Luis Garcia Jr., who was born in New York. Let's play a quick clip right here of him meeting the media while I go grab some water. And we try to, be grateful, right? When I say prayers at night with my son, he's only 3, but I try to ask him, what are you grateful for? Tell God what you're grateful for. If you live a life where you're always wanting and you're always sad and miserable about what you don't have, that's not the way to be. So let's be thankful we did get one of the best hitters available. Here is Luis Garcia. He says that he grew up a Yankees fan. He says that his favorite players were Derek Jeter and Robinson Cano. It's one of the reasons why he wore number 2.
First of all, growing up in New York, did you grow up a Yankees fan, and did you have any favorite Yankee players?
La verdad sí, crecí un poco aquí, me fui a los 8 años dominicana, pero siempre fui fanático de Derek Jeter y Robinson Cano. La verdad, por él usaba el número 2 y la verdad me siento muy contento.
Yeah, honestly, definitely grew up a Yankee fan. I left to DR when I was 8 years old. So growing up, favorite players were Jeter and Cano, Robbie Cano.
Okay, let me see what else I have here from him meeting the media as the Yankees will face the Cardinals tonight. And the Heliot Ramos deal is about to be confirmed. So we will celebrate that as well. Might as well. Like I said, let's be grateful. Let's be thankful. There is some new energy coming into the building, some new bats. I know I said I needed 2 bats. And you can only get what you can get with what you're willing to give up. And I feel like Cashman went out there and he got Luis Garcia and Heliot Ramos to shore up this infield, to shore up the outfield. And 13 minutes ago, it says the Yankees are finalizing a deal to acquire Heliot Ramos from the Giants. Ken Rosenthal reported, and I will send a round of applause for that. It's something. It's something to change this team up, right? Look at these guys' batting averages. 260 for Heliot Ramos plus 280 for Luis Garcia. It's a lot better than what we have. Right-handed hitter. He can play left field. He can play, he can play right field. I just think that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign, folks. You know what I'm saying? If we're signing or if we're trading for an outfielder, what does that make you think about Judge coming back? And let's say this. Even if Judge comes back, his rib is healing. You can't put him in a position to hurt that rib, and he gets hurt playing the outfield. So, Luis Garcia Jr., great bat. You hope it changes the lineup in these next couple months. Heliot Ramos in there, good enough bat. He's definitely going to be better fielding than Jason Dominguez. The Yankees did say happy trails today to Max Schumann. Max Schumann was optioned, so you won't have to watch him belly flopping in the outfield anymore. We don't know when Belly is coming back. Spencer Jones. How about Spencer Jones? Let's give some love to Spencer Jones quickly here. Because Spencer Jones is up now, and he's turning into that left-handed Judge like they said he would be, right? Spencer Jones, he homered on the north side. He homered on the south side. And, I didn't even mention Trent Grisham, but Brendan Cuddy said this. Take a look. Spencer Jones might be making a strong case. The Yankees should keep him as next year's center fielder with Trent Grisham heading into free agency this offseason. Yeah, I would start to do some of that now. You know what I'm saying? Can I see Heliot Ramos in left field, Spencer Jones in center, and Jason Dominguez in right? Or maybe Jason Dominguez on the bench, Ramos in right or left, Spencer Jones in right or left. Like Trent Grisham's been struggling. I'm off the Trent Grisham train. The qualifying offer has worn off. Let me know if you guys see any other breaking news out there as we are waiting. Okay, speaking of breaking news, here is the actual deal and return for Heliot Ramos. So S&Y Yankees reports the Yankees will send Henry Lelane, their number 5 prospect, Caden Kent, the number 13 prospect, to San Francisco for Heliot Ramos. I feel like that's a hefty price. 2 top 15 prospects, a left-handed pitcher and a shortstop. I feel like that, like they paid a good price right there for Ramos. I don't know what to tell y'all. I wanted 2 bats. Okay? I wanted 2 bats. We got 2. At minimum, I wanted 2. Now, I wanted 2 as far as a catcher and any other position, right? Pie in the sky, it was Hunter Goodman and Luis Arias. You knew that wasn't going to happen for us. Pie in the sky, it was those guys. But when you look at what the Yankees just did with Max Schumann and Anthony Volpe and Ahmed Rosario and Dominguez, making mistakes out there, and Jazz has sucked lately. They were able to win. They didn't lose a series on the road. So let's hope this strengthens the team and the pitching keeps pitching and guys do come back healthy. Richard said Clay Holmes to the Cubs. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned Clay Holmes to the Cubs. I know I mentioned Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver got sent to P-Town. How about the Mets? Let's do this right now. Let's do the trade deadline tracker. Right at 5:30. Right now, there's 30 minutes to go. 30-minute warning here. Trade deadline tracker. With 30 minutes to go, let's take a look at MLB.com and their trade deadline tracker. Let me scroll down. And now it's different than how they had it. Let me go to just MLB trade deadline tracker. This is the one that I was on. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. So, you guys know about the Red Sox getting Adley Rutschman. I don't care to go through the prospects. Like, I know some of you are deep in the prospects and weeds and on these guys, but everybody doesn't know who they are. The Phillies got Luis Arias. It's a big move for them. They also threw in Caleb Killian. The Phillies go for it. Can I give some love to Donnie Baseball and Bryce Harper, who said they needed more? And the Phillies also went out there and got Brooks Raley. Robbie Ray to the Padres. Jose Soriano to the Blue Jays from the Angels. The Guardians got Joe Adell off the Angels. The Mariners get Taylor Ward, former Angel, who the Orioles went to get because they thought they were going to compete this year. That didn't happen. The Cubs with Clay Holmes and you better call Tyrone Taylor for the Cubs. Don't be surprised. Like the Cubs, somehow we beat them, but I was just looking at the Cubs and their lineup and the hitters that they got. Tyrone Taylor has been clutch. Nice little move. Clearly, the Cubs have a rapport with David Stearns and the Mets. They sent David Peterson, Clay Holmes, and Tyrone Taylor over there. The Rays get Liam Hicks. That was the other catcher off the board that I was looking at and I was talking about last night on WFAN. Liam Hicks is a catcher, first baseman. The Rays get him. Luke Weaver to the Pirates, already mentioned. Dustin May to the Brewers, as they were looking for another arm. Not Tarek Skubal. They settle on Dustin May. The Astros, don't look now. The Houston Astros get Blue Jays World Series star Dalton Varsho. The Cubs, again, get another left-handed pitcher in Braxton Garrett. The Dodgers add left-handed pitcher Chris Bubich. Pitching. You can't have too much pitching, especially if Ohtani's not going to pitch. White Sox get Brenton Doyle. They're loading up. They made moves. This is a year that the White Sox are good. They're going for it. Already mentioned Brooks Raley. Cubs also got right-handed pitcher. Sorry, I zoomed in there too much. Let me make sure you guys can see that properly. You can. Let me make myself smaller here. Oh, no, I'll leave myself there. Back to the tracker as we're running out of time. Blue Jays get infielder Josh Smith, right-handed pitcher Josh Steffen. Joey Bart, I mentioned earlier, the White Sox add a catcher in Joey Bart. Red Sox get Eli White, outfielder. Rays get right-handed pitcher Tyler Wells. Braves get left-handed pitcher Brent Suter. I mentioned Ben Rortvedt before to the Dodgers. Royals get Nolan Hoffman. If you go back to yesterday, late, Cubs got Kevin Gossman. Rays got Freddie Peralta. Your Yankees got Luis Garcia Jr. Braves got right-handed pitcher Tyler Mahle from the Giants. White Sox get Huascar Brazoban from the Mets. Blue Jays get Jameson Taillon. And then 2 days ahead, the Dodgers knew they weren't going to get a better offer. They got an offer that they liked. They said, punch it. We're going to do right by Tarek Skubal. We're going to get him on a plane, get him up out of here. He's going to be settled in L.A. by Sunday night and able to pitch Monday. Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers. White Sox get Luis Castillo. Remember the Yankees were supposed to get him a few years back? Braves get outfielder Lane Thomas and left-handed pitcher Bailey Falter. Pirates. I didn't mention the Pirates getting Camilo Doval. The Yankees trade Camilo Doval to the Pirates. And what does Camilo Doval do? He goes out there and gives up a homer to Tyler Stevenson. He's not good. He's not good. Anyway, as we continue on this tracker, make sure you guys are hitting like. If you guys are watching on Twitter, migrate over to YouTube. If you guys are watching on Instagram, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not even looking at the Instagram chat. Hi, now I am. Now I see you guys. Not really on, I'm streaming on Instagram for 28 people, but I'm not really, the thing about Instagram is, like, I use StreamYard. The chat for Instagram is not enabled in StreamYard yet, so I got to go to another screen to do that, which I'm on right now, but then that takes me off of the main screen, so I'm back. But, let's finish this tracker right here, going back now 2 days. AJ Minter, Mets got him up out of here. And now I was saying before, like, I'm applauding Curtis Meade got hurt as soon as that Connolly early trade. We can end this now. Ronnie Mauricio down there, you see the Pirates got him. I was applauding David Stearns because I said this deadline, like, the Mets are cooked. And it's all David Stearns' fault. But what I was saying is I was expecting David Stearns to have a masterful deadline, to get in some kind of good graces with the fans, to kind of save his bacon a little bit. I mean, he can't really save his bacon. Like, they hate him. They don't even want to see his ass. But, like, the Mets actually sold off a lot of pieces. You want to talk about a fire sale? I think they probably sold off as much as anybody. And we'll see what that happens, or we'll see what happens. We'll see what that return happens to turn into. So, all right. Let's hit the chat. Send your questions in the chat for me. Let's see. Pam says, when is this man Stanton coming back? Probably September. I wish he would do something crazy and trade Stanton to the Angels for Trout. Dad can build it. What are you on this afternoon? What are we talking about? Rice can't be the catcher. Please, no. Stanton will get hurt by tonight. Yeah, Rice is not going to catch, and I don't trust Stanton. Stanton got hurt on April 25th. They didn't put him on the IL right away because it was nothing. It was something, a minor tweak. It was like a precaution. Like, I get him out of the game. He should come right back. And then as he was trying to come back, he like tore his shit even more. It's like, how? Excuse my language. Yes, Ramos was confirmed. We did get the details of that deal. Right now, you can't expect any of them back. Even if they're back, they won't be at 100% conditioning. Right. Scott says that in the chat. And they've missed so much time. There needs to be a ramp up. We're running out of time, right? How many at-bats do these guys need? How many pitches do they got to see before we go into the postseason? And I will say this, like, I think the Yankees are taking a page out of the Dodgers book. The Dodgers, they wait. Like with Blake Snell and Glasnow and these guys, they're like, whatever. We've got enough to stay afloat. Where if you look at the Yankees, they are staying afloat. They're winning series on the road against postseason teams with their B team. So I think the Yankees are taking a page out of the Dodgers book and saying, we don't have to rush. We don't have to rush Judge back. We don't have to rush Stanton back. We need them to be ready for October, available for October. I was going in last night about Belly. I thought it was dumb as hell that Belly tweaked his hamstring. And then the next day, we see him warming up, doing calisthenics in the outfield with a tweaked hamstring. And then it goes from not being anything too crazy to a grade 2, 4 to 6 weeks. And if any of you have ever played sports and you tweak your hamstring, as soon as you feel that pull, as soon as you feel that weakness, you're supposed to get off of it. You're supposed to ice it. You're supposed to treat it. Hot tub, cold tub, stem. And I felt like, I don't know, I felt like that was kind of foolish. But whatever. The Yankees, I don't trust the Yankees. I don't trust the Yankees medical staff because of past experience, right? How they try to slow play things, whether it was Cole and Tommy John, whether it was Judge, even Judge last year with the elbow. Like, what's up with Judge? I mean, Rizzo went out there concussed. DJ LeMahieu played with a bad toe or bad hip. It's like deja vu. Let's see. I'm looking for anything good in the chat. I've thrown a lot of random stuff in the chat. Carlos, yes. Ramos is official. I got to it. I'm going back to the chat now. I got to it at 5:12. I see you guys writing this at like 5:15. It is now about to be about 5:40. Kevin says, why are people willing to help the Dodgers but not the Yankees? The Dodgers pay. I'll say that. The Dodgers do always pay up. They are willing to say, F them prospects. We'll give you what you want. And the conspiracy theory with this Skubal deal is that the Tigers owners want a salary cap. So they gave him to the Dodgers without waiting till the deadline, without going through other offers, because this is just another cog in that wheel. This is just another thing added to the case that, hey, the Dodgers win the next World Series. They win 3 in a row. We need a salary cap. We need to change some things to make this, more balanced. Yeah, RJ, I know who you are, bro. University of Richmond. I'm from Miami. Yeah, shout out to the Spiders, bro. I said you and I are the opposite. I went to JMU and I didn't take my visit to Richmond. You went to Richmond and you didn't take your visit to JMU. Take your visits, kids. I'll say that. Take all your visits. You get 5 official visits. I don't know. It might be different now in this NIL era. But, man, I went to JMU. I fell in love with JMU. I was like, I don't need to see anything else. I want to go to school here. Okay, you could have known that and still gone and taken your 4 other visits. Let's see. Macho Talk Sports says Boone is super replaceable in my opinion. Sure. Where else is Boone managed? What other team did Aaron Boone manage? If the Yankees got rid of him, somebody would pick him up. The Yankees aren't getting rid of him. They're not blaming this on him. If anything, the Yankees are giving him credit for navigating these waters right now without the MVP, without Giancarlo Stanton, without Belly, right? Navigating a lot of the season without Trent Grisham, without Max Fried, without Ryan McMahon. So Boone is safe. Boone is safe. Josh says, why didn't we go all in after a starting catcher, which was obviously a need? You can't just make one appear. Speaking of Aaron Boone, here is Aaron Boone earlier speaking about Ramos, and this is important because there's already people in this chat who have mentioned, Ben Rice catching or, Ramos playing second. No, here's Aaron Boone telling you exactly what you can expect. Not from Ramos, from Luis Garcia, excuse me. Here's Aaron Boone on where he foresees Luis Garcia Jr. playing for your New York Yankees, and it's obvious.
Yeah, first I got him at first tonight. Expected, to be there. Some DH. I know he's played some second in the past. He works everywhere most days, so he's taking ground balls to give that flexibility. So, I first and foremost, especially these first couple of days, just want to get him settled with his routine and comfortable. And we'll see if that role evolves much. But right now, I envision him first base, DH. We'll see if there's some infield in there moving forward.
So you heard it there, folks. Now, could they try to put him at second base for whatever reason? Yeah, but he's going to be at first base. He's in the lineup tonight. I can pull that up for you guys as well. Like I say, it's redundant, but you take what you could get. The two things that this deadline is telling me, reading between the lines, is there wasn't as much available for the Yankees with what they wanted to give up. They're not giving up George Lombard. And everybody in the world is probably saying we'll start there with George Lombard. Clearly, they haven't given up Elmer Rodriguez or Carlos Legrand or Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez. So the two things that, reading between the line, this deadline said, there wasn't much out there for the Yankees. The Yankees went shopping, and they said, we got $30, and with $30, they're not able to go out and buy the catcher that they desire. They're not able to go out and buy the bullpen arms that they desire. So they had to say, how do we improve this team? This team can't hit. This team is at the bottom of the league in so many statistical categories offensively. How can we improve this team? Okay, we're going to get Luis Garcia Jr., who leads the National League in slug, is having his best year. He's under control. Great. And then Heliot Ramos tells me that, going to get another outfielder, there's your right-handed bat, but going to get another outfielder is going to be a while for Belly. And then you probably can forget about Stanton and Judge, those two right fielders, former right fielders, the two of them playing in the outfield. Stanton, forget about it because he could barely walk up the stairs without getting hurt. Judge, they are probably deathly afraid of him, having a setback with that injury. He can't take any collisions. He can't go out there, and you know how Judge is. He'll dive, he'll run into the wall. Can't happen. So this is where we're at. This deadline in a year where I don't know, you guys follow my work. At Fanatics Fest, I went off 4 reasons why you got to go all in at this deadline. Right, and one of the main reasons was that I felt like this American League was wide open, but it's open every year. You could argue that if the Dodgers go 3 in a row, they could have met the Yankees there all 3 years. 2024, last year, 2025, they were a game away from flipping the script with the Blue Jays, where that could have been them. And then same thing this year. I guess I was saying last night on air, it's either going to be the Red Sox or Rays. Whose turn is it to come out of the American League East to go face the Dodgers? Probably the Red Sox, who just swept the Dodgers the last 3 nights. But here we are tonight. Here's the lineup in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me make sure that's large enough for you guys to see in the back of the class. Cam Schlittler on the mound, and as you can see, Trent Grisham leading off, playing center field. Ben Rice DHing, batting second. Luis Garcia Jr. will be at first base, batting third. And just look at his numbers, look at everybody else's numbers. Like, just that quickly, he's arguably the best hitter on the team. Second best hitter behind Ben Rice. Spencer Jones in left field, batting cleanup. Jason Dominguez hitting fifth out in right field. Jazz Chisholm Jr., wake it up. Your OPS is under 700 now. Your batting average is 220. Supposed to have a 50-50 year. Jazz is batting sixth, playing second base. Ryan McMahon is batting seventh at third base. Jose Caballero bat eighth at shortstop. And yes, you got to watch more putrid Austin Wells batting ninth and catching with a 537 OPS and 161 batting average. Miserable year for Austin Wells. I don't know what happened to the guy. I talked about it last night. Austin Wells tore up the World Baseball Classic. He got voted as the best catcher in the entire tournament. Austin Wells had his firstborn kid. I thought he was going to come in with some dad strength. Austin Wells came in as a rookie batting cleanup on a team that went to the World Series. Austin Wells was projected to be a hitter, a masher. They drafted him back when we didn't have left-handed hitters. They said his defense wouldn't be good enough to be behind the dish. He'd be a first baseman. I don't know. Maybe he, as Volpe goes, he goes lower. Him and Volpe, the chicken parm partners, those guys being BFF. But if we don't get a catcher here in this next 13 minutes, this is bad. This is really bad. Everybody knew the biggest need was at catcher, and there were multiple catchers moved, and probably some other ones that could have been moved. But Cashman was not going to give up what it was going to take to do that. And I saw a little report come out last week about how the Yankees, if they do get a catcher, he was still going to platoon with Austin Wells because of how much they like Wells calling the game and his defense. 26 minutes ago, John Heyman says the Yankees are still inquiring on right-handed hitters, pen help, and backup catchers. Yeah, well, pencils down in 12 minutes, so I don't know what that can do. But I'm trying to find the report about how Austin Wells was still going to. Basically, the Yankees were telegraphing, I know you guys all want another catcher, but we like Austin Wells behind the dish, and we believe that his hitting can come around, so we're still going to play him. And yeah, I don't know what to tell you, folks. Let's hit the chat as we're running out of time. We went through the whole tracker. We went through all the big moves for the most part. The one thing that I didn't mention was this. While I was on last night, this came across my desk, and it kind of makes me think now, are they going to try and revisit this with time expiring? So Brendan Cuddy reported, a source told The Athletic that the Yankees didn't offer the Padres a trade for Will Warren for Adrian Morejon. Last night we were seeing that Will Warren was dangled out there. The Padres wanted a starting pitcher. Will Warren was dangled out there for left-handed reliever Adrian Morejon. And I guess that didn't happen. He said, she said. That's one thing about this trade deadline in the modern day era too. You don't know who to believe, who to trust. Everybody's got a verified badge. Everybody's on Twitter. You don't know who is what. Who's when things break, you need Ken Rosenthal, you need Jeff Passan, you need Joel Sherman, you need those types. So Mark Feinstein is another one. He put out there per sources the Yankees did not offer Will Warren to the Padres at all. San Diego could still move the talented lefty reliever Adrian Morejon. They're looking for starting pitcher, but that offer was never on the table. Okay. Other than that, Skubal going tonight. I already talked about that. I already gave some props to the Mets for their fire sale. David Stearns just showed you. He's been around the block. He knows how to have a fire sale. I do want to give some props to the Mattingly family, Don Mattingly and his son. They went out there and they got it done. And I saw Bob Nightingale put this out, and coincidentally, it was Bob Nightingale who reported the whole Will Warren, Adrian Morejon non-trade. But Bob wrote, the Phillies are planning on moving Bryce Harper to right field. Luis Arias will play second base. Bryson Stott will play third base. And it's not there, but Alec Boehm is going to play first base. So the reason that I put this on the screen is they were willing to move around multiple players, the Phillies, a team that goes for it. They go out and get a 330 hitter, and all the conversation that we heard was about where's Luis Arias going to play for the Yankees? Not the right fit. Oh, well, would you move Jazz to third base so he could play second? No. Oh, well, the Yankees don't have room for a guy like that. He's got no defensive position. The Yankees are in the bottom of the league for batting average. Of course they have room for the 3-time batting champion. But the Yankees weren't willing to do what the Phillies were willing to do, and that's reconfigure their defense. They're going to move 3 guys. to accommodate one, because they know that that guy is a table setter. They know that that guy is a leadoff hitter. They know that that guy is coveted as, and I don't care. There's so many people are like, well, why is Luis Arias on 5 teams in 5 years? Because his defense, right? There are teams that have better defenders, but why is he on these teams? Because he can hit. He doesn't strike out. And the Rays were favorites to get him. At least he didn't go to the Rays. But the Phillies, I can commend the Phillies, like similar to the Dodgers, but not as successful as the Dodgers. They'll fire their manager, who they went to the World Series with. They'll change their team around. They're going for it. And they went and got Luis Arias, and they said, yeah, you guys got to move around. You guys got to move around. We're getting this done. So with that being said, that's all I got. Let's close with the chat. Episode 5 here, Keith McPherson Show. Make sure you guys are on YouTube. Hit like. Make sure you guys on Twitter, go to Twitter and underneath the tweet, find the YouTube link. We're starting to ramp up. We're starting to build. I'm starting to have some good conversations about the podcast, about the Keith McPherson Show, which is now available on podcast. 5 episodes in here right now. I look forward to where this is going to go just from the conversations that I'm having. The game has changed. It's different. I remember building shows and podcasts from scratch in 2018, 19, 20. It's just different now. It's different now. I'm not going to say too much, but I appreciate you guys' support. And I always love when there are people in my small following and community that rock with me consistently. And as I'm doing different things and things are changing, you being early adopters, you being first on the scene, you sticking with me as things start to materialize and pop up, you can say, hey, like I saw it coming. Hey, Keith was kind of leaning towards this. Keith was kind of telling us he was working on something. Keith was kind of saying that this was coming, that something was coming, right? Like, before we do hit the chat and end here, here's something that started to pick up. And I was telling, the powers that be over at Complex, because now you guys are starting to see me at Complex, right? I did this interview with Jazz Chisholm for a show that I'm doing with Complex called Worst Take, right? Just trying to get some either freezing cold takes or bad takes or just anybody's take on something, an opinion on something, and then running with it. So what you're seeing on the screen here, I think I'm talking over it. Let me run it back here. Here's Jazz Chisholm from that show.
I understand the glizzy part, but okay, I'll give you a hot take. Yankee Stadium is not a lefty ballpark.
Yeah, it's deceiving. So what do you think is the ballpark that you like to hit out of the best? What park do you go to and you have BP and you're like, yo, I'm killing it here. I love hitting in this park.
Not even I don't even need BP. Houston.
Okay, so that is a clip that the New York Post just put up. Shout to Baseballer2 on Instagram. They put it up. And me being such an internet guy, I think Alex Garrett goes, hey, you got to credit Keith McPherson. And I said, my name was on the video. They just didn't tag me. Whatever. I don't need them to do that. But stay tuned for more stuff from Complex. I know some of you guys are seeing me do the Mitchell and Ness live streams, my own content. I'm still doing WFAN. I was on WFAN last night. I will be on the next 2 Sundays. And yeah, stay tuned to the Keith McPherson Show and where this is going to go. And now we'll go to chat and try and close out. All right, let's see. I'm going to work backwards. Saw the interview. It was dope, Keith. Thank you, Pam. What's up? Eddie said heard him over the weekend late night talking about me. I was there. Right. I was there last night. So I will be on after the next 2 Sunday Yankee games. YG says Judge not coming back. That hasn't been put out there yet. That's just how we feel, right? Based off these moves. That's how we feel. And as time is expiring here, I don't feel good about this trade deadline and the rest of the season. Sorry. That's it. As Just Baseball reports that the Mets are not expecting to make any more trades today. So Luis Robert survives. And, yeah, that's probably it for the Yankees, too. I don't think we're going to get anything in this last 4 minutes. But, yeah, closing out with you guys in the chat. Dropping Bomb said, ride with Keith. No, for real. I would say, ride with me. Believe in me if you've watched me now over the last 2, 4, 6, 8 years, right? I started this journey in 2018 when I quit my job and unlocked all my social media accounts and said, okay, I'm going to put myself out there. Nobody was really talking about content creation, influencers. Nobody was really talking about podcasts on YouTube. There's just a lot of different things that have popped up over time. And I'm always working. I'm always taking calls, meetings, going to lunches and doing things. And I'm blessed. I'm extremely blessed that people even care to have me host things and do things. But it comes through all the reps and experience I have, and it comes through you guys checking my stuff out, right? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. If I had no numbers, I'd have no motion. If I had no followers, no views, it'd be like, sorry, guy. It's not quite there. Keep working on it. So, yeah, Eddie said he's back already. For real, what time slot? Sundays. And if you want to go back and listen to my show on The Fan last night, it's on the Odyssey app. You can rewind it back. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up here. What's up, Kevin? Right, I see. Cap was like, they need to bring you back on WFAN. But he spelled it WFAM. I remember I used to drop that. My W fam. It's a W fam, KM to AM. You give up LaGrange for Miller all day, every day, a proven guy versus an unknown. Well, like, we don't know if that was discussed. But all right, that's all I will discuss here as I'm going back to the chat. And I see you guys are feeling some kind of way. Dre said, I've been listening to you for 4 years, and you always, Cashman needs to go all in. Seems he never does. No, he never does. He always leaves some food on the plate. He always leaves us kind of like wishing and wanting and desiring more. Even when he satisfies the needs and fills the holes, it's like, yo, we could have gotten this guy. Like, we want Luis Castillo, but we end up with Frankie Montas. But, I mean, there's no killer instinct. There's no killer instinct with these Yankees. I'm sorry, folks. That's a good way to end it. So, appreciate you guys all watching. And make sure you hit like on the way out. Everybody on Instagram, hopefully you guys from Instagram came over from Instagram to YouTube to the other platforms. I'm seeing people. Shout out to Sombrero Taco. Shout out to Sombrero Taco on Instagram as I'm seeing some people there. This was a special edition trade deadline show. And the Yankees end up with Luis Garcia yesterday and Heliot Ramos today, and that's it. You have to watch Austin Wells catch and Ali Sanchez throw the ball away, and that's not good enough. And whatever. I mean, the Yankees aren't winning anything this year anyway. I think we all kind of know that. So we'll hope for the best. We'll hope for the best. Stay blessed. Stay up. And stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. That's all I got. I'm out of here. Good night.
Car salesmen are annoying.
Sign here, please.
Never talk to one again with FlexCar, the first and only month-to-month car lease.
Oh, no.
Get a great car, switch anytime. FlexCar, you drive everything.